Okay, just to recap, I'm going to do a stuffed springbok leg. But there's a difference to this one. Most people use pork fat or sheep. I made some biltong, fat brisket, beef brisket biltong. The American people call it jerky. This one looks a little bit different. It's a little bit thicker. It's been sitting in the salt for about 3 days, and then I hung them out for a week to dry properly. And this is the fat which I'm going to use to stuff into this leg. And I take this knife, and all I do is I make holes as many as possible in this leg so that we can stuff the fat inside the meat, because as I said earlier before, venison tends to be dry, and we need a little bit oil and a little bit fat inside the meat, and this is what we're going to use. We're going to use the biltong, and what we do is we cut it strips like this, and we take the fat and we put it inside the meat. Now you will notice this is salt and pepper spiced already, so in other words, the fat is taking also the spices inside the leg into the meat, so we don't have to put spice inside the leg. This is what we use to get the spice inside the leg. And we use the fat, and we cut the fat like this, nice strips. And we take this fat and we put it into every hole which we can. We stuff a piece of fat as deep as possible. Okay, the leg's been stuffed with biltong fat, spiced dry biltong fat, like I've mentioned before. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to put some garlic together with the fat in every little hole that I put in the leg. Garlic is excellent taste, especially with venison. I love the garlic. And put it inside as deep as possible. Okay, now the leg's been stuffed with biltong fat, beef brisket fat, spiced and dried, and then some garlic. And now we're going to put it in a pot, a cast iron pot. And we put the leg into the pot, and we're going to add some olive oil to it. I don't measure the olive oil. I just make sure that the whole leg is nice and covered with a layer of olive oil. And then I add the onions and the rest of the garlic to the leg into the black pot. And once that has been done, the only spice we're going to use on this leg is a little bit of Worcester sauce extra, or a little bit of lemon juice. As I said, I don't measure the spices. It's just with the eye, a few drops, 2 or 3 tablespoons. And the next, lady, is salt. We need some salt on the outside because we have salt on the inside. We have the salt. Next, baby, some nice, fresh, coarse black pepper. Okay, there we have salt, we have pepper, we have olive oil, a little bit of Worcester sauce, and the leg is stuffed with brisket fat and garlic. And just before we put it in a hole, we're going to put this whole pot under the fire tonight in the ground, and cover it with a lid or a metal plate, and make fire on top of the metal plate, and this will stand in the hole for about 12 to 18 hours. But before I do that, my favorite, once again, fresh cream, cow milk from the farm, not pasteurized, fresh cream. And you don't have to play with the cream. You can put 2 or 3, you can even put half a cup of nice fresh cream on top of this leg before we close the leg and forget about it for another 18 hours.
Van die stil daar, maak ek even boete nie.
Van François, wat is dit?
Voor al François.
We have a springbok leg in a hole under the fire, which we put in 18 hours ago. We're going to open the hole now and see what is coming out of that pot. I haven't looked at it yet, so let's see what's coming out. And there you have a springbok leg falling apart. Okay, and this thing is falling apart totally. You can't take it out without make it falling apart totally. That's the way. Tender, soft, cooked, and we can take the bones out. And that's the way a springbok leg comes out of the ground after 18 hours. Okay. Hy so sag hoor. Dis wat ek wil hê. Hierdie gat is bietjie vinniger as my gat. Ek bedoel,
Moet ons met die hande vat.
ja, breek sommer so met die hand 'n stukkie. Ek weet jy moet proe. Dan gaan skep ons. Vat van hierdie wat bo is. Breek vir jou daar af. Wat in die room gelê het. En dan vertel jy hoe smaak hy.
Oh, wow. Springbok. After the Japanese. Very nice.
Sorry, Springboks. You see, if you lose against the Japanese, this is where you end up. Okay, ek haal vir jou ander uit. The head of a sheep or a lamb, baked in the same hole as the springbok leg. 18 hours later, and there you have the best food in the world. Kom jy nou?
Yeah.
Okay, and now you do it this way. You open the jaws so you can get to the tongue and the rest of the meat. Soft and tender, you can eat it from the bone with your fingers, and that's the way it looks. Okay. Quentin? After the springboks? Yeah, taste this one.
Sheephead is looking nice.
Soft and tender.
Marrow.
Unbelievable. Jansen.
That's really
This
nice.
is to share. One must share these.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I thank you.
Yeah.
And now,
really, really good.
you can take the tongue. You can take the tongue. And you cut the tongue in small slices like this.
With the correct knife, obviously.
With the knife of Connie de Pre from South Africa. He's a knife maker. He sent us this knife to test. And now you can taste the tongue.
Wow.
Even better.
Cheers.
Kom Janse. Enjoy, my friend.
It's really good.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Okay, now there you have it. This is what you can cook inside the hole, under the fire, springbok, any meat that you want to cook. And now the women, they welcome, but we don't need women anymore. We give them a break, and the hunters, they do the cooking. And we eat tender meat every day. We're gonna enjoy springbok meat.
But they'll come back. They'll come back. We talk again.
We talk again.
Yeah.
Famous last words. Famous last words. Ah, gaat hulle.